Welcome to What's on YouTube Now, the podcast where I look back at the month's drama of YouTube, and I just give my opinions on it. I say what's been happening. It's a little thing where you can just catch up on all your drama. And yeah, we're gonna get straight into this. In the 2 months where California fires have gone on, distracks have gone on, some real fire has been hit. And people have had to leave their Lamborghinis because they're repaving their drives. You know how it is. First thing we're going to be talking about is YouTube diss tracks, and they are back. Last year, obviously, it was with all the Sidmen, and it's kind of around that area again. But this year, it is more based on KSI, Randolph, and Deji. So we're gonna, because it's like two separate stories, we got the JJ one and the Deji one, and they kind of come back in collide, and we will reach that point. First, we're gonna talk about, I don't know which one kind of started first. They kind of both came out at the same time, but I'm gonna start with the Randolph Deji beef. So, if you didn't know, the Sidmen had a Family Fortunes game show as a Sidemen Sundays video, which they do every Sunday. They just get a load of Sidemen together and they make a video. They went up against the YouTube group, which contained Randolph. So one of the questions was, name a dead YouTube channel. JJ was, or KSI, was the presenter of the show. So he asked the question. It was Randolph and Simon, or Miniminter. And Randolph instantly went, Deji. And this is where it all started off. It seemed like a harmless joke at the time. Simon joked around that that was family. It kind of just went on. The show went on. It was all good. A few days later, or sometime later, Deji responds in a video and says that Randolph is just KSI's cameraman, and that she spends more time with his friends than his family. Because Randolph has a wife. Randolph took that to heart because he mentioned his wife. I think if he wouldn't have mentioned his wife, maybe something wouldn't have happened. But Randolph instantly went, right, I can make a diss track here, because if you didn't know, Randolph is I'd say professional songwriter, rapper. So he saw an opportunity to get more views in his. I'm pretty sure that's how he said it. He said, well, I can get more views here. So he did a diss track on Deji. Main points of the diss track are that Deji lives with his parents. He didn't really go in that hard. Deji lives with his parents. He had too much crap when he was training for the fight. He had drugs before the press conference and around the fight. He really didn't care about training. And that Deji is he keeps getting girls round. They don't last that long, typical jokes which men make, and women, but he also said Walmart KSI, and if you are on YouTube now, then you can see the picture. If you're on anything else, then you can't see the picture. Well, you can see the picture because it is the cover art icon. But yeah, so Deji then reacted to the diss track, and he said he would make a diss track back if he got such and such likes, as you do. He's trying to get the views at this point as well. So Deji goes and makes a diss track. Apparently to Miniminter, KSI, most of the things that Deji says in his diss track are false. Most of the stuff that Randolph says in his diss track is true. Both of their reaction videos concur and both say the same points. And Deji's main point was just calling Randolph fat and just saying he was KSI's cameraman. He also mentioned his wife again in a line I'm not going to repeat, and that's what pissed off Randolph. He also added his wife on Twitter, so people were going over there and having a go. And apparently they were really abusing Laura, who is Randolph's wife, and being just really mean to her and calling her a slut and stuff, because Deji accused her of talking to him. At the end of the diss track, Deji, what it seems to be, makes an Anne Frank joke, which didn't go down with many people. I for one, do not respect that at all. It's just a bit too far. But Randolph reacts to the video. This is where KSI also the paths kind of intertwine. So I'm going to end this part here. I'm going to talk about the KSI part leading up to this, and then we will talk about the rest of it as a whole. So I'll see you in the next bit. Okay, so KSI, this part of the diss tracks all started on the What's Good podcast, which also contains Randolph and also contains Miniminters Sidmen. So both diss tracks all started from the same three people. But this one that started when, on the What's Good podcast, they did a section with KSI. I'm just going to call him JJ because it's so much easier. With JJ, and they went around and were speaking about who are the top 5 rappers on YouTube and who are the worst 5 YouTube rappers. So KSI, no, I think it was either Randolph or Simon bring up Quadeca, which is I think he's an American rapper. He's 18. One of them brings up Quadeca, and KSI says, no, he's bad. Quadeca then hears the podcast, and he goes and makes a diss track on JJ. So this all spirals. He also he also says something about Dax, which is, he doesn't really count himself as a YouTube rapper. He more does like, I don't know what he does, but he's a rapper in his own right, but he's not really a YouTube one. He released a track as well, but we're not really going to talk about that because his track was more just a normal track, and he had a few lines thrown in about KSI. Another person who comes in is Crypt, but that's more on Randolph's side, and Crypt's just pissed off because they didn't mention his name at all, yet they didn't really know who he was, so they couldn't really mention his name. So we're just going to focus on the Quadeca diss tracks. So Quadeca makes a diss track called Insecure. Oh yeah, also Randolph's track was called Manchild, and I don't know what Dejis was, but hey. So Quadeca drops his diss track Insecure, basically says KSI has a god ego, his all the Sidemen are his yes men, and just jokes around about KSI's hairline and stuff like that. But to be honest, the diss track, I like the song. I do like the song. But the diss track is more a diss track towards Logan Paul. This is weird because Logan Paul invited Quadeca onto his podcast, which he does. Everyone's doing podcasts at the moment. So Quadeca does that. KSI reacts, says that Quadeca's diss track is probably the best song he's done, period. And he says that she's going to do a diss track. I think it was around 2 weeks later that his diss track finally came out on Quadeca. And I can't remember what it was called. It was something about, it was some Greek god. I really can't remember. The diss track is mostly aimed towards Quadeca, but near the end of the diss track, he changes up the beat, as everyone has been doing in their diss tracks. So he changes up the beat. He then goes in at Dax for a little bit. He then goes in on Crypt for a little bit. The Crypt bit, I find really unfair. His line, I don't know if I'm saying it word for word, but he does say, live or die, B word, because family friendly. Live or die, B word. I hope you die, B word, which is kind of mean, if you ask me. I don't know why he's going in on Crypt so much. Crypt hasn't really gone in on him, but he basically just says that she's better than most of them. Quadeca's too young. It's kind of just it's kind of friendly diss tracks because they don't really know much about each other, so it's not serious. It's not like what the Sidemen did to each other. Well, more Harry and JJ last year when they did it, because obviously they have a lot of dirt on each other. Also, Randolph and Deji have a lot of dirt on each other. But at this point is where the two diss tracks collide with Randolph and Deji's KSIs and that. So, going into the next section, which will be both of them right now. So, diss tracks have now collided. So, first thing to happen at this point, well, actually, it's before the KSI diss track. Randolph puts out his second diss track. At this point, KSI is annoyed with Deji because in Deji's diss track, he leaks credit information about money that she gave to Randolph for a present for his wedding. And basically, Deji said that KSI paid for Randolph's wedding. JJ then came out and said, this is false, it was just a present. It was like, he gave the money to him a day before his wedding. You didn't pay for the wedding a day before. And KSI was very annoyed that his credit card information had just been shown. Well, not credit card information, but transaction data had been shown through the diss track. He was kind of annoyed with his family as well. So straight after this, KSI went and blocked Deji on all social medias, so he couldn't talk to him. Then Randolph goes and puts out his second diss track, and this one's a lot more hard-hitting. He goes in at Deji, trying to sleep with his own fans, and I think it was underage girls, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Basically, it could be a career ender if it ever comes to light that this is 100% true. This could be a career ender. Right at the end, he has some girls come in talking, and then he also goes in on Dax, but not Dax, Crypt, but we're not going to talk about that here. Deji, after, reacts to the video, says it's all false, with false accusations and stuff, and then blames his brother for giving Randolph the information on all this stuff. And Deji accuses Randolph also accused Deji of getting a girl pregnant and then just leaving her. At the end of the video, when Deji reacts, he says that he's never done that, and in fact KSI or JJ had done it. At this point, KSI is now even more pissed. He didn't want to get involved in any of this. He sat on the sidelines. He just reacted and wanted to enjoy it. But more Deji's pulling him in. Randolph isn't. Randolph's trying to keep him out. Randolph says in his track that the only reason he hasn't gone in harder on Deji is because of JJ. But it all kicked off from here. Soon after, Deji and KSI were obviously blocked each other. Deji then flew to LA, and it was rumored that she was going to do a diss track with Dax and Crypt. Meanwhile, there's like a little beef going on with Constantine, I think that's how you say it, which is Ethan Bazinga's brother. He's also a cameraman for Sidmen Sundays and stuff. He went in on Jallo, which is like Big Shaq's cameraman, who is now Deji's cameraman. Because after the Deji's diss track, Con just said, I don't like it. There you go, diss track. So Jallo also goes to LA. So then it was in this point where KSI dropped his diss track on Quadeca. Soon after that, it then turns out that Deji has now made a diss track with himself, Jallo, Dax, and Crypt. So they didn't want. KSI said that she didn't want to give information about Deji to anyone, and Deji was accusing KSI of giving information to people. Then Deji goes and does the exact same thing, and he gives information to Dax. I think it's just Dax, might be Crypt, but he gives information to Dax about about JJ's girlfriend that she keeps very secret. It all kicks off then because this is a pure diss track on pretty much KSI. I think JJ pretty much says he's not going to get involved anymore, and he just didn't do any more diss tracks. Him and Randolph did release a song recently, which people did think was a diss track, but it's not. KSI then well, before this video had come up, before the diss track had come up, Deji uploaded a video saying, "Message to my brother KSI," where he talks about how KSI respects family over friends over family, and has kind of rejected his family, and that you should be standing behind your family instead of your friends. A couple of days later, KSI then uploads a video saying a message to Deji, and he basically says, "Deji, don't do a diss track on me, just talk to me and we can settle this stuff out." Then the diss track comes out, which I've already talked about, and then after that, Deji releases another video saying that KSI is actually making him look bad, and apparently KSI knew Deji was making a diss track on him, and he still went and made that apology video to Deji to make Deji look bad, because obviously he's gone, "We can talk this out," and then Deji's put up his diss track, and it seems bad on Deji's part because he hasn't listened to what JJ said. It makes him seem like he hasn't tried to talk to JJ, and he's just gone and done a diss track anyway, reviews and stuff. Deji comes out and says that's all false, and that's pretty much where this has ended at this point. Not really much else has gone on. I haven't seen anything go on. Also, Con made a diss track. Well, Jallo made a diss track on Con. Con made a diss track back. This is all just fun and games, really. That's the last time I seen Deji. He was in Jallo's video, and he said Con's visuals of, because obviously Con's a cameraman. He's not a rapper. He's done and made a video. It's all right, you know. But that's pretty much it for the diss tracks. The next section is going to be about YouTube Rewind, so let's get into it. So, YouTube Rewind 2018 is the most disliked video on YouTube. Let's come out straight say it. It is the most disliked video on YouTube. It's more disliked than Justin Bieber's Baby. I think it's around 10 million dislikes now. The last picture I took of it was when YouTube tweeted it out. They said, "Oh, a new record." Oh, wait. I can pull it up right now. Yeah, so Justin Bieber's Baby video has 9.9 million, and now YouTube Rewind 2018 has 10.5 million dislikes. So, yeah, not very well received. Where it all went wrong is I think how most people look at it, and I look at it, is that there wasn't enough YouTubers this year. There was nowhere near enough YouTubers. Obviously, in the thumbnail itself, you've got Ninja, you've got Casper Lee, and that's pretty much all the people I know. And for one, Ninja's not a YouTuber. I don't think he's ever made a YouTube video solely for YouTube. Most of his YouTube content is highlights from his Twitch streams. Casper, the thing I found bad was that there was barely any English YouTubers. Like, obviously, that's the main problem, actually. Not enough YouTubers, and not enough of the drama that just actually happened on YouTube this year. Now, rumours are that YouTube Rewind is recorded 6 months in advance. So, they would have started filming 6 months into this year. Obviously, that means they're not going to get all of the content for YouTube Rewind from the 6 months onwards. But Baby Shark is past that 6 months, so they can obviously go back and reshoot it, and they didn't. They haven't gone back and reshoot it. Plus, didn't mention anything about boxing. 2 big boxing fights. Joe Weller versus KSI happened at the beginning of the year. KSI Logan Paul happened at the end of the year. And KSI Logan Paul is arguably the biggest YouTube stream ever. And not a mention. They brought up football, because obviously Wembley Cup and Sidmen match. And the World Cup. No Sidmen in it. Not a single one was shown. No KSI, no PewDiePie. PewDiePie's chair got in though, you know. There wasn't enough of the drama. So most of it is based around Fortnite, let's be honest. Or most of it is around Fortnite. You can even see it in the thumbnail. There's the battle bus. You've got Ninja. You've got a load of Fortnite YouTubers on the bus. And talking about that, we got Lachlan, who flew over to LA from Australia, like a 24-hour trip to be in YouTube Rewind. All his lines got cut. That's not right. So, what people wanted was more memes. Memes are everywhere. More drama, more controversy. You could have put Logan Paul in. I get why you didn't put Logan Paul in, but you could have put Logan Paul in, like for an apology or something like that, just to show that something had happened. But they take this video more as an advertisement to companies looking at YouTube who want to put their money into YouTube rather than the actual things. Like they have Big Shaq in it, or Michael Delph, I think it is, or something like that. He's in it, and Man's Not Hot came out last year in 2017. He shouldn't be in this one. He's not that big this year, but they put him in anyway. Will Smith starts the whole thing off, and yeah, he's big for YouTube. He's just come over to YouTube from filmmaking and stuff like that. He's starting to do YouTube videos and that and all that, but he's not YouTube. And then the main controversy about this whole video is the middle bit. I understand why they are making the message. The message is good. It's a good message, but it didn't need to be there. It could be its own separate video. If it was its own separate video, yes, it would probably get less views, but it's there and it doesn't fit into YouTube Rewind. It's like all this energetic stuff going on, and then there's this bit in the middle where they just talk. It's all going fast, and then they stop and they talk. And it just doesn't fit properly. Like I said, message is good, but the execution of it was bad. And the part where they talk about showing the comments, like seriously, YouTube, have you ever been on your own comments? None of the comments were those. If it was the real comments, it would be, where's PewDiePie? Where's the boxing? Where's all this? But it was like, we got to get Baby Shark in there. We've got to get that Kanye West and was it 6ix9ine? I don't know. We got to get them in there. So then it cuts on, and instantly after the talking bit, ex-Viners are running the show. They're all coming out in the Kanye West Roblox outfit. They're Viners. Like, to be honest, they are Viners. They have big influence on YouTube, but they're not 100% YouTubers. They haven't been here for that long. They've just come from Vine, they've ported themselves over, and they've just gained back all the people that from Vine came over to them. Most people don't even like Lele Pons, and she was the main showing point there, you know? It's just not YouTube. It's not. And then it goes on, and it goes to Baby Shark and stuff like that. It's just not. They tried to show a lot of different cultures and countries within it, but the way they should do it is maybe, I get it will take more money for them, but they could do separate continents, or so like you could do a Europe YouTube Rewind, a North America, South America, Asia. You could do all these separate ones, or have blocks inside your YouTube Rewind, make it a bit longer, and put in more people from there. Because most people watch this YouTube Rewind and they went, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I personally knew around, I knew Casey, I knew Casper Lee, I knew Lachlan, Ninja, obviously Will Smith, I knew Jaden Animations, I knew The Odd Ones Out, which were 2 animation channels, and some others, but it just didn't capture what YouTube Rewind is. Like, you would at least need PewDiePie in there. I get that she said the N-word, and it's a horrible thing to say. But him and T-Series, not even mentioned. It's going to get mentioned in this. That's actually my next story. So, I'm actually going to segue into that. See you in that bit. So, PewDiePie, T-Series, we're going to finish off the conversation about YouTube Rewind. These two not even shown. PewDiePie's chair, as I said, was shown. PewDiePie, not even shown. Not even mentioned. Only the chair. He needed to be in it, because this is huge. PewDiePie versus T-Series. Jake Paul made a video about how he made, was it 5 million subs in... was it 5 million? 10 million? Somewhere around there. A lot of subs in 5 months. PewDiePie has done what Jake Paul made a song about 5 months in 1 month. He has made millions and millions of subscribers in 1 month. There has been thousands of videos, probably at this point, about subscribing to PewDiePie. It's been on billboards. MrBeast has bought billboards. He's bought cars. He's bought everything to try and get people to sub to PewDiePie, and it is not even represented in YouTube Rewind at all. And if it is, it was very subtle. I didn't pick it up. I don't think many people picked it up. It's dumb, and he should have been in it. He should have been in it, or there should have been maybe, I don't know, someone with a T-Series shirt on, or someone with a PewDiePie shirt on, doing a race or something. But they didn't, you know? And that's where YouTube Rewind went wrong. So, moving on to the PewDiePie T-Series thing. PewDiePie, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the picture, which I have up right now. And that is the subscriber count of PewDiePie and T-Series. If you're not watching on YouTube, it's 77.1 million to PewDiePie, 75.7 million to T-Series. So, if we start from when I really started to look at it, it's 200k. There was a 200k gap between T-Series and PewDiePie. Then, that went on for about a week and a half. At that point, Markipliers went and started up a live stream. And he said, I'm not going to... his stream was titled, I'm not going to shut up until you subscribe to PewDiePie. At this point, there's a load of people putting adverts. MrBeast did this video. People were putting posters up about it. They were tweeting it all the time. They were doing advertisements and stuff. So Markiplier makes his video. Because at this point, it's like a 100k gap. And T-Series are very much close to catching up PewDiePie. So what happens is, Markiplier makes this video, the gap suddenly goes from 100k to 500k gap between PewDiePie and T-Series. PewDiePie obviously on top. And it was incredible with what Markiplier had done. And from there, it's just kept building and building and building. And now he's actually got a million, how much would that be? 1 million... about 400,000, 1.4 million more subscribers than T-Series now. I mean, PewDiePie's made multiple videos saying, we can just stop this now. It was fun, but, you know, he's made a diss track on them. I haven't actually watched the diss track. I need to watch that. But he's made a diss track on them. He's done it. He's really rode the wave. I mean, this is huge for his channel. Even if people don't know PewDiePie, they are subscribing to PewDiePie just to stop T-Series. And I think it's just a huge YouTube thing. Because obviously, T-Series are a company. T-Series are an Indian company which uploads music videos and stuff like that. And YouTubers don't want a just company taking over the #1 subscriber spot on YouTube. Obviously, PewDiePie is not the most subscribed because you've got YouTube Music and YouTube Gaming and stuff like that. They've got subscribers. But for actual separate channels from YouTube, I guess you could say T-Series aren't actually a YouTube channel. They're more of a YouTube company. But for PewDiePie to keep ahead of this company is a huge step for YouTube. And it's just big. That's pretty much all I can say on this point. But it's a big part of YouTube this month, so it's in here. Finally, I'm just going to round up some other stories which happened this month and stuff. So that'll be the last segment, and then we'll be on to the outro. See you in that bit. So, what else has happened? I'm going to be pretty much making this off the top of my head. I did have a list, but I haven't got it on me. So, first thing, JonTron is back. JonTron has returned. He's been away for quite a long time. Last video his last big video that most people had seen is the Flex Tape one. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. If you are watching on YouTube, I'll try and link some links to most of the videos I've talked about in the description. So yeah, he came back with Flex Tape Part 2, and it's a wonderful video. It's worth the wait. It's so good. I'm not going to spoil it, actually. I'm not going to spoil it. Stick to the end of it. You'll love the end. Also, in the news, Keemstar, MrBeast gets a load of YouTubers to stand in a circle for 100,000, was it? Or yeah, I think it was 100,000. I'm pretty sure it was 100,000. So let me actually look here. So let's cut this. Also, we have Logan Paul became a Flat Earther this month, and pretty soon after got kicked out of the Flat Earth organization by the Flat Earthers, and they pretty much rejected him. So that's something that has happened. Jake Paul wants to fight FaZe Banks in boxing. Superwoman came out. So recently, I don't know what it's called, the analytics for the most paid YouTubers on YouTube came out, and Superwoman was on there last year, I'm pretty sure. I think she was the only woman on there. But this year she's not on there, and she put out a tweet saying I should be on there, and women weren't getting paid as much as men on YouTube. I don't know if I believe it or not, but also the most subscribed YouTube channel, funny enough, is a kid. I can't remember his name. Ryan, maybe? Ryan. Yeah, Ryan's Toys is the most subscribed. No, he made the most money on YouTube this year. He's a kid. He's got 17 million subscribers. He's got another channel called Ryan's Family Reviews. So yeah, he's the most subscribed. So, no, he's not the most subscribed. He's got the most money this year. And she was complaining that she wasn't on there. And YouTube kind of used her as a selling point. She's been in like every YouTube Rewind. She's the YouTuber YouTube look to. She's an ambassador. She's an ambassador for YouTube. She's the one that everyone looks at and goes, this is what YouTube's like. This is our perfect YouTuber here. And they're always pushing her at you somehow. And YouTube are kind of slowed down on that. And that's why it seems she has lost she's not on the top money anymore, because people have been given the choice not to watch her anymore. They're not getting it forced down your throat by YouTube. And it seems that people have just gone, I don't want to watch her. I'm pretty sure that's it for the news. If there's anything I missed out, sorry. But this has been the What's on YouTube Now podcast. If you're on YouTube, you'll get the extended version. If you are watching it in another place, it could be the smaller version. But I hope you will enjoy. If you did, I can make more of these. And I will see you all in another podcast maybe. See ya.